Well, New South Wales MP Helen Dalton has been in the news this week. She's trying to introduce a new bill to Parliament, one that would see politicians forced to declare their water ownership and publish information on the water holdings of corporations. Helen's she's been copying some opposition, with an anonymous National Party MP complaining to the Speaker that she has a conflict of interest if this bill goes ahead. I've got some breaking news on that and we'll come to that in just a moment. Joining me now, New South Wales MP and member of the Shooters, Fishers and Farmers Party, Helen Dalton. Helen, great to have you on the show. Look, just before you came on air and came into the studio, you were called into the Speaker's office this afternoon. What did the Speaker have to say?
Well, the Speaker said that I had no case to answer, and it's been thrown out. It's really quite ridiculous. So, and he could see that it was a lousy stunt by the National Party.
All right, well, that shows you how much you're getting under someone's skin, that they're using the claims of conflict of interest about this legislation. Look, prior to you winning the seat, it had been with the National Party for 35 years, so I think they're desperate to undermine you potentially and get that seat back. But let's talk about the issue of water handling. In a nutshell, what's the problem that you're trying to rectify with this legislation?
Well, really we want some transparency with water ownership. So it really does go into not only politicians declaring their water interests, but also foreign companies, even foreign governments, traders, even celebrities. So we want to know who owns our water, and we have got water registers out there, but it's very, very difficult to search. You search by a number rather than a name. So you could be there looking for a needle in a haystack for ages. So this offers a more searchable database, and then we can plan ahead and we know what's going on.
Look, we have the same issues. They're partly rectified, but I think they could be rectified even further in relation to a searchable register of foreign interest, land interest beyond water. Tell me, you've been on the land for many, many years, Helen. Why has introducing speculators into the water system, and in particular when water rights were decoupled from land ownership, why has it done so much damage?
Well, water was a commodity into our, and it still is a commodity into our business. So if you're growing rice or cotton or some of those summer crops, and even some of the winter crops too, we water. It's an input, but now it's a tradable commodity, and there are speculators that are making an awful lot of money out of trading water, and anyone can own water. It's easier than opening up a bank account, so you just get online and you can buy water. Now, some of the politicians that I think are in the federal and state parliament, it's in their interest really to make water scarce. So they do a lot of regulations that may limit water access or minimise allocations, and then what happens is that people have only got a small allocation, so they will trade it because they think, well, it's not really worth putting fuel in my tractor and keeping these people in work on my farm. So they'll trade it temporarily. So if they've only got 6% allocation, which is what we have on the Murrumbidgee, they'll trade that water, and the price of water at the moment has skyrocketed because of the drought and because obviously the scarcity of water. So at the moment it's trading for about $800 a megalitre at the Murrumbidgee, and you can't grow a crop and make money unless perhaps you're a nut producer, almonds, which are making a bit of money. But the other commodities aren't anywhere near that.
Well, I don't think you'd be the only farmer in a state or federal parliament who has a water interest, but you're the only one I know of that's put your hand up to say that you have an interest and you've disclosed it on your pecuniary register. Now, I've got a lot of experience with MPs' registers. Almost everything is noted, but I'm gobsmacked that water has not been a requirement for disclosure. When you talk about people having all of these interests that we're not aware of, and they make decisions that could potentially favour them or favour people around them, other business leaders, and you talk about celebrities, the real risk is here that people are speculating on water, they're profiting from decisions in relation to water, and they are sitting in a room when the decisions are made. This is pretty dangerous for democracy.
It is very dangerous for democracy, and it's dangerous for agriculture, and it's dangerous for our GDP. And even now, some of our industries that are in the Southern Connected System, so around, you know, between the Murray and the Murrumbidgee, I mean, dairying, there were 90 dairies 3 years ago around the Deniliquin area. Now we're down to 25. So there's a whole range of issues with regard to this. A question should be asked to the public is, really, do they want to have long life milk coming in from another country such as China? Do we want to, you know, look after our own? And do we want some transparency with water ownership? And I think the answer to all of those is yes, we do. And this is the first step to unwinding or getting some sense into this sorry water mess that we're in. And they've made it deliberately complex, and it needs bit by bit to be unwound and looked at, critically analysed, and get some common sense rules in there.
All right, Helen, we will stay right across this issue, and we'll be back when the bill, let's hope, comes on for debate and a vote. Helen Dalton, thanks for your time.